Right, hello boys and girls. This is a lesson on simplifying fractions. So let's just do an example straight away, and I'll talk you through the example, and then hopefully we can try some examples for you to try. So first of all, let's say we've got 9/12. Okay, now what you've got to do when you're simplifying fractions, you've got to think, what can I do to the top number and to the bottom number, exactly the same operation, to make the numbers smaller, because generally speaking, simplifying means making the numbers smaller so that they're easy to handle. And once we've finished simplifying this, you'll realise actually this isn't such a difficult fraction at all. So let's think, remember, let's divide by a number. Now 12, you can divide 12 by all sorts of things. 12 has got loads of factors: 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 12. But 9, the only factors of 9 are 1, you can divide 9 by 1, you can divide 9 by 9, and you can divide 9 by 3. Now 3 is the one that we're going to use. So we're going to divide the top number by 3, and we're going to divide the bottom number by 3 as well. Remember, it doesn't matter which one you use, so long as you use the same at the top and the bottom. 9 divided by 3 is of course 3, and 12 divided by 3 is of course 4. So now what we've got, we end up with 3/4, which is much easier to handle than 9/12. If somebody said, right, I want you to I need you to distribute 3/4 of a pizza. Sorry, if you distribute 9/12 of a pizza, you might be thinking, well, what is that? Whereas if you say 3/4 of a pizza, straight away you're thinking, right, okay, there's the pizza, there's 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. You've got an idea in your brain how much 3/4 of a pizza is. So 9/12 equals 3/4. Okay, second example, we've got 54/96. Now that's not a very common fraction, you're not going to see that every day, but it's useful to know that we can use strange different fractions as well. So remember, what we've got to do is think, how can we make these numbers smaller? That's the first thing. Secondly, what can we divide the top number by and the bottom number by? But it's got to be the same number. So now we've got to start thinking about factors. Okay, so, well, straight away we can divide by 2. We can see that they're both even numbers, so we can divide by 2. So 54 divided by 2, and that's 27. And then 96 divided by 2 is 48. Okay, so we've got 27/48. Now, we can divide that by 2, but we can't divide that by 2. What else could we do? We could divide by 27, you can divide by 9. 27 divided by 9 is 3, but that won't work for that. What about 3 though? 27 divided by 3 is 9, and 48 divided by 3 is, oh yeah, so that will work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the answer down here. So 27 divided by 3, and we get the answer 9. And 48 divided by 3 is 16. Okay, 48 divided by 3 is 16. If you don't believe me, do 48 divided by 3, and I promise you'll get the answer 16 up there. Right. So what we've done is we've simplified a really horrible looking fraction, 54/96, into one that's actually not so bad now, 9/16. What you might also have seen is that if you divide by 2 and then you divide by 3, then what actually happens to go from here to here means you're dividing by 6. So let me just show you. Divide by 2 and then divide by 3. that is the same as dividing by 6 straight away. And we know this because 2 times 3 is 6. That's how you work it out. Don't worry too much if that's fooled you a bit. When you are when you're doing simplifying fractions, you can take as many steps as you like. Right, this is the last example, and then you can go on to the next activity in the lesson. 14/84. So we're going to think about numbers that we can divide top and bottom by. So we can divide by 2. That's always a very, very easy one to spot. So 14 divided by 2 is 7, and then 84 divided by 2 is 42. Okay, that's not bad. 7 42s. Okay. And then maybe we might be able to go even further, even though this looks like a very, very awkward one. What can we divide the top one by and the bottom one by? Well, we can divide the bottom one by 1 and 2, 3, 6, 7, 21. You know, there's quite a lot. But think about the top one. Start with the top one. That's easiest. We can only divide the top one by 1 or by 7. So let's divide by 7. Okay, now you have to trust me on this because you're probably thinking, no, this isn't going to work. 7 divided by 7 equals 1. Okay, like I say, trust me. 42 divided by 7, remember, always the same, divided by 7. Okay, 42 divided by 7, well, 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, and then one more finger, 42. So that's 6. So 42 divided by 7 is 6. So actually, 14/84 is the same as 1/6. So let's just show you what that looks like. There's my pizza. Now when you do these things, each section has to be exactly the same size, and I apologize because mine are not. But 1/6 means 1 out of 6. So there's 1 shaded, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's what 1/6 looks like, but actually that's also what 14/84 look like. Okay, so that's the end of this lesson on simplifying fractions. Follow the instructions on the website to check out what you need to do next.